Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 6 of our Manor Lords Survival Guide. I hope you're having a wonderful day. The Lord is actually just taking a stroll to examine the year's crops. There's some flax coming in, which looks really cool, doesn't it? Those big fields of blue over in the horizon there. I had no idea flax was blue, by the way. Who knew? Who knew? But I wonder all growing in. I think this field has wheat in it as well, I believe. It's like the church service is about to begin as well. But either way, welcome back everyone to the wonderful farming province of Goldoff, where we're going to start today's episode. I want to get some more fields drawn in today. And off the back of the end of last episode, we now have our bakery under construction, which of course was developed via the bakery technology up this way. So we do currently have a development point to spend in Goldoff, but I think I'm just going to save it for right now. I'm not really in a rush to unlock anything. And we may go down the fertilization tree. I think we'll kind of wait until either some animals arrive. Just either way. I think we'll wait for it anyway. So welcome back anyway. We do have some some jobs to sort out around this town. So we're no longer producing clay. We do have the roof tiles we needed to build the church. So the clay furnace can just be unstaffed. We could demolish it, but we'll just unstaff it for right now. We should also really have someone back in the tanner as well. We've got a lot of hides to process over here. And we should also be able to remove a family from our saw pit now as well. And that leaves us with 3 surplus families. How are we doing for timber? Yeah, I think we can just do with 1 family in here for right now. And I wouldn't mind possibly buying another ox for these guys. I do have 3 at the minute. And we were also had a few comments last episode as well where we were talking about, is it better to staff 1 farmhouse with 8 families? Or is it better to have multiple farmhouses across the farming district so we can have more ox? But honestly, we're not sure. We'll find out together. Always look at this. Are they coming into harvest now, are they? I think they are. Should we watch the harvest together? Really fun watching them pick up all the crops and then they dump it down here. It's just, I don't know why. It's just so satisfying to watch. Yeah, there's very, very little grain come out of this field, hasn't there? I don't think they had time to plant it all. Which is fair enough, right? It's a sign that we need more workers for our fields. But this fact is going to get picked up here again as well. Very nice. What a shame it's just started raining for them. So flax and wheat are now both coming in. We do have someone working at the windmill who also has a store. That now should start getting converted into bread because we do have the bakery here, which is super important. We should have... yeah, most of our flour and grain is now stored in the granary, which is fine. But with the flax, obviously that's not processed via a windmill, so we should bring in the weaver's workshop into the town now. Let's have a look at industry. And it's this one here, Weaver's Workshop. That's going to turn flax into linen, which will be a further clothes requirement for the people living here. So why don't we have this maybe next to our flax fields? That's going to be a pretty sensible place to have that there, isn't it? And funny enough, speak of the devil, in Iconau, our Weaver's Workshop is also full. So let's return back to the main settlement. We will stock this. I think we've also got some stocks getting ruined here. Yeah, there we go. Exposed stocks getting soaked. So let's add some more people into the sheep farm. So we've got, what? 20 sheep here. And this is like really filling the farm up. So I think for right now, 20 sheep is a good barometer to go for, isn't it? We've got full stock at the Weaver's Workshop as well. Let's also add full production chains in for the rest of this village. Now we've got 162 people living in Iconau. So we'll have full staff at the large storage house. I think I'm also going to add another trader into the trading post as well. Our tavern is fully stocked. We are not processing hides at the minute, so the tannery doesn't need to be stocked, I guess. Yeah, they are just waiting. Is it worth hunting again here now? The resource is starting to replenish a little bit, so I suppose we can add the hunter back in now. And I guess at the granary, let's also add in a few more people there. Cool, so that should hopefully make things a bit more efficient, especially this large storehouse. So you've got 5 people here now, all setting up market stores. Got a real busy town centre coming on, haven't we? which is what we love to see. And because things are going so well in Iconau right now, there's just a massive surplus of pretty much everything we need. Why don't we start looking at expanding our population over here too? Because this is going to be the main army of our kingdom, I believe. So the more people we have here, the more militia units we're going to be able to start. Let's get 5 new houses growing up this way. And I really liked the configuration we did here, like with the circular houses last time. Now, Ikako last episode let us know that these settlement types were actually used to inhabit Slavs in old German settlements, and apparently designed this way to stop the settlement from growing, which is really interesting. I think definitely with Manor Lords it's certainly piqued my interest in kind of older, I guess, German settlement history. So maybe we can, I don't know, take on a more historically accurate build at some point in Manor Lords. But it is certainly something I'll have to familiarize myself with. But yeah, if you guys have any maybe documentaries or something on kind of this kind of old Germanic settlement, I'd love to watch. It really interests me, that kind of thing. So let's draw some burger spots up. Let's have some really unique shapes if we can. Oh, look at that. That's great, isn't it? Wonderful. So I guess this is where we'll be housing Slavs of Iconau. Go. And up here as well. So let me get this. Do that. One doesn't seem too bad, does it? You guys will probably want a well out here, although you don't have it, do you? Yeah. Got really limited underground water in this salmon, haven't we? That's fine though. You guys should be okay. We'll check back on these in a second to make sure that they are indeed thriving. But what I did want to do today for kind of the meat and potatoes really is to actually colonize one of the other settlements. So I mentioned possibly setting up a kind of colony, if you like, or an outpost in Zvaya, but it's got quite good resources here. Rich iron and rich animals are really nice, seeing how well it's benefited Iconau. But this also has rich animals and rich berries, so I think maybe we'll send the workers camp over here and try and kind of treat it as something a little bit more seasonal. You know, we have to wait for the wild animals to replenish and the berries to replenish, so maybe no one actually lives here in the winter. I'm not sure if we can do that, but we can certainly pretend. But for right now, what I do want to do is to colonize Zvaya. So let's go into administration. We can now get a settlers camp, and we can place this exactly like we did with Goldorf. And I would like this, let's say, here. So now we have some money, we can actually dictate what exactly it is we start with. So the regular one we'd always start with is modest, but I think we'll go with average. Plentiful maybe seems a little bit too much. Well, would be helpful though, wouldn't it? 750. Let's just go with average, I think. We'll try average out. Wonderful. So, brand new settlement, of course. Let's get into our supply chains. We want that logging camp. So the whole settlement really is thriving around this rich iron vein, which we want to make use of. So, logging camp there. Woodcutter's Lodge immediately next door to it. Let's do here. There's also rich animals over here as well. So this is a super strong province. Let's have plus berries right nearby as well. So hunting camp can go in there. Next up after this, of course, we also want the well. Let's not get that again this time. We'll have the well next door to the Woodcutter's Lodge here. Let's establish a little bit of road so we can get people hooked in. Also get the iron mine built as well. Come into our mining pit here. It's going to uproot a few trees, but that's okay. Cool. That should be enough to get you lot started. Let's also connect the village into the King's Road. Let's draw this one down here. So King's Road from Zvaya runs this way, doesn't it? So definitely kind of meandering up this junction here, I think would be the way people would enter the settlement. Fantastic. And probably, I imagine, a shortcut would have been taken there as well. So this can be the foundation of our new town here. Now, I haven't really checked this out, so I want to try it. I want to upgrade the people's tents into a workers' camp, so which will provide crude living space for 5 families. Contrary to burgage plots, they can't be upgraded or expanded and may cause a small loss of approval. Best suited as worker accommodation for outposts. So, I mean, I guess we could keep this as an outpost. I'm not sure. I think we'll probably try and keep this a relatively small village, I think. So I'll watch it grow up. Hopefully the Hunter's Camp is here as well. Let's give that a road 2. Bring this one down. Now let's get those logistics sorted as well. So you folks will want storehouse, which we'll have right next door to our mine here. And the granary can sit not too far away. Probably want some market space, I imagine. So let's stick this right in the middle of the town. That's 21 market spaces. That's going to be more than enough. And then I'd like to stick with these circular settlements as well. So let's do some possible future housing down here. Bring our road coach up so we can make a bit of a roundabout. There we go. Something like that should be okay. Cool. We've only got 5 people here now, but plenty more supplies than we started any other province with. Thanks to our pretty decent treasury wealth now, which is being paid for by Ica now. Fantastic, there's that treasury, so let's get that stocked. So they will pack up those bread supplies. Just had a family member join. Oh, here we go, so here's the workers' camp. I haven't really seen this asset before. Let's have a little look at it. It's just sturdier tent, I suppose, isn't it? It is literally just a workers' camp. Take a screenshot of that. But it still does list them as homeless. Shows where all our people are here as well. So I guess we get a small disapproval rating for that. I believe it said, didn't it? I guess we'll find out. Cool, so buildings are getting built here now. Let's get the logging camp up and going. We want the woodcutters lodge up to the mining pit, absolutely. Let's start processing that iron. And the granary should be stocked up now, if not too far away. Is the last of the bread coming in? We'll wait until these guys process it. There we go. The last of the food in. So remove those guys, and now we can stock up everything. Storehouse. Cool. And our hunters camp can also be utilized as well now. Realize we are down on families, but we will shortly fix that. Once our supplies here have been picked up and put into the storehouse, we can remove that family. Hopefully not too many left here now. Do we have any planks with us? We do not, so a sawmill will probably be needed at some point too. Let's do that while we remember. Now let's have our saw pit here. See if we can make a bit of a kind of cool looking industrial centre. Still had stocks damaged by weather at the sheep farm, but you really are pumping out a ton of sheep, aren't you? Okay then, let's bring a family out of that if we're just making too much wool. And yeah, we've just got a ton of wool, haven't we? Maybe something we want to start consider selling via the trading post in Ica now then. Let's have a look at that. So it's going to be under materials, isn't it? We want wool here. Yeah, we do have a lot of it. And again, we could also sell whatever wool is being made into, which is yarn, isn't it? How much does yarn sell for? 4. Yeah, so we might as well sell the yarn, hadn't we? So we will export yarn. Let's just keep a surplus of 60 in for ourselves. Anything above that can be sold. Start making even more money for Ica now. And how are our new houses getting on? Terrible food supplies over here for you guys. Guessing that's just because you're too far from a market, is it? I'm guessing. Possibly is. Well, let's help them then. Chicken coops are always good for extra food. And I guess if we're going to have people living around here, some more market space wouldn't go amiss then, would it? So let's have Maybe just draw a road out this way to down here. Rather have a straight road if possible. And then this little square here can help service these burgage plots. I wonder if just because things are starting to pile up now, maybe we want a larger storehouse for this side of town, maybe? It could help pick up everything that's being processed from, I guess, what is the industrial side of the town. Would be worth it. How's our bloomery doing? You guys are still processing tons of iron ore. Maybe another family at the smithy. Let's start getting the iron processed a little bit quicker. And I guess we'll stick another family in the burgage plot here too. Or the granary, hopefully to start stocking some of these marketplaces over this way. But otherwise, we've got plenty of supplies here, 15 months worth of food and 8 months of fuel. We will keep making sure all these new houses have extra living space. And burgage plot upgrades. Where we can squeeze them into. Which is quite cool. We could also add... Are you okay there? Not sure. Oh, that's the bottom of the tree, isn't it? Yeah, this tree has fallen down. But no one really seems to mind. Which I think it's because I moved the... what's it called? The Woodcutter's Lodge. Wouldn't mind another outer tower here. How about... over in this corner? This telling us road access obstructed, but we could just bring a little road around this. And how about a tax office as well? Hopefully we can fuse this in to kind of bulk out our manor a little bit. Have a little angle like that, and then we'll draw in some roads. And let's commit to that. We'll get our new manor started, which should be quite a lot of fun. Give that a bit of an upgrade. Let's now return back to the lands of Zvio. See how everyone's getting on. Yeah, so we are getting those homelessness complaints now. Which I guess they don't want to be freezing for the winter, do they? Although it is not coming via disapproval. Usually we would see the homelessness here now, but it seems to be okay. So I guess this is how we could set up a settlement, isn't it? Although you would need to micromanage between granary and storehouse, because we won't be getting any more families in here to further increase that. But there are firewood and food stores, and I bet this should be getting quite a lot of food, right? Yeah, 11 meat from this rich animal deposit already. That should keep going. So these guys should have a decent amount of timber. Let's build them some homes as well. And we will do it over here. Let's get some big ass burgage plots. Want these guys to be able to essentially self-maintain in the kind of the mining colony, I suppose. Yeah, so big burgage plots to indicate that they can indeed grow their own vegetables. Got some real large ones up here. And let's grow this one out to be... well, that's enough houses for right now, I think, isn't it, actually? We'll let them build those up. That's going to take them a little while. But big enough for vegetable plots anyway is what we want here. And because we chose that average start as well, we also have extra regional wealth, which will allow us to buy all those materials a little bit quicker as well, won't it? So they get dragged around now. You guys will eventually want a church and whatnot, won't you? But we'll worry about that in a second. Returning back to Goldoff, we should also have our Weaver's Workshop ready now as well. Ready to process an enormous amount of flax. And we should also set up some trade for this one as well. So we can still trade minor resources, but what do we really have here? What's the major surplus for Goldoff? Definitely meat, isn't it? Meat is very bountiful here. Also flax and barley. The grain is going to be processed. I've looked at some food trades. Or I guess crops is what we really want here, isn't it? So we could sell for 2, or we can sell the flour for 3. I think let's trade flour then. Let's export flour. I will only request a surplus of 50, I think. And then can we give... yeah, we're not too far off some decent regional wealth now, are we, to buy a horse for the trader. Have a look at our fields too. We'll get some more of these grown in a minute. Let's get another farmhouse built as well, actually, shall we? So with our farming, let's grab a second farmhouse. I'd love you to be... maybe... Let's turn off snap into road here. I'd rather align myself manually, I think. Let's have this one right up on the corner. There we go. Then while we're here, we will also draw in those fields. So I believe a Morgan is the German, or at least the ancient German equivalent of an acre. So let's get these in. So these are probably going to be fields for the future. Or at least I've got the aesthetic of them in right now. Also over here as well. Put that on there. I want to try and make the most of the fertility here. Barley's pretty fertile, so these two at the top will end up being Emma. The ones at the bottom will all be barley through here. I wonder what are you guys doing now? You seeding this? Or you're ploughing it? Okay. This as well, it can be fallow for this year. So this field here is barley. Fallow is in year 3 here, so we'll make it in year 2 in this one. So barley and then barley. Fantastic. You will be wheat. So let's have a look how many fields we have growing wheat at the minute. There's 1, 2, 3. So we definitely don't need wheat this year. That's flax for next year. It's 2 years of wheat after that one. So in this one then, we will have wheat in year 3 and have 2 years of fallow. And then with this one here, just double check his fertility. Yeah, best suited for wheat in that case. So this one will have fallow, and then wheat. Fantastic. That should hopefully keep things moving along. I don't have 2 months worth of fuel left here though in part of the city. Let's go ahead and add another family into the Woodcutter's Lodge. So yeah, I'm not sure what I want to spend this development on. If we're going to get fertilization, then sheep breeding would also pair really nicely with that. We could also start taxating this province as well, but we're already making really decent money and influence just from Ica now. So I might as well leave these guys to be super happy. Just, you know, ignorance is bliss out in the fields, isn't it? So what are you guys doing now? Starting to sell. He's bringing resources back into from the mill. Absolutely wonderful. Let's buy another ox, because we're going to need it, I think, for the farm, aren't we? Cool. So we got crops being stored at the farmhouse now. Everyone else is still sowing the seeds. It's very cool seeing those farming fields develop, isn't it? Really love the fields in Manor Lords. I'd like to leave some trees around them as well. Why don't we leave this little pocket here as like a little just forest, I guess, in amongst all the fields. I guess I wouldn't also mind leaving the same thing here as well. We can box that in. And then we'll put more fields over this way. I reckon we can split this into 2 fields, right? Looks like it's going to be a little big for just one. And again, if we did do the whole block, it is just over 1.4 Morgan, which I think we'll do. And eventually everyone that comes into this town, which, speaking of, if we are going to keep doing this, we are going to need more population. The new burgage plots are struggling with fuel supply, but hopefully that extra woodcut is going to help with that. Now let's get these kitchen posts upgraded to stables as well. Fantastic. So we've got our tannery working here, storehouse is going well, granary is stocked. Most people are happy. How are we doing for that bread? Yeah, 68 coming out of that one bakery here, which is good. Cool. Yeah, it's nice and well stocked there, isn't it? I'm assuming these people are selling it on the market, are they? Oh, wonderful. Here's our farmhouse. Let's get the ploughing station built as well, of course. Then I guess if I remove, say, 2 families from this farmhouse and then put them in this one when we can. Let's make this highest priority as well. I just want to see how a second farmhouse in the region will perform. Should be okay, I think. Yeah, so they're sowing by hand on the wheat field here now, aren't they? Has this one been sowed? Yeah, it's growing. This one over here as well is too. There's the upgrade complete. So I would like you to have your own ox. And another 2 people to work in this farmhouse. And let's see what they do now. So they're guarding the ox now, I think, yeah? From what I can tell, anyway. Super. Well, at least the settlement seems to be thriving. Everyone's happy and those fuel resources are going back up. Let's check back in at Zvaya, which is now just over the hill. Yeah, so they maintain their homelessness until we delete this worker camp, I believe, right? I'm not entirely sure of the impact and the use of the workers camp at the minute. Maybe we'll figure that out when we go to Immenruth, which I believe is pronounced Immenroyd, is it? Immenroyd? I'm not sure. I guess this should be like pronounced heavy German, shouldn't it? Like Eichen, how? Like you really like say it from your throat. I think it's how you would say it. Eichen, I guess. Eichenhau would be a more accurate pronunciation. I'm not sure. Clearly not sure. Wonderful Zvaya does hit its first development point, which is wonderful, isn't it? So this town is 100% based around animals or iron, so let's explore what we could put that development point into. So the other option would be a deep mining to enable the building to extract resources indefinitely if placed over a rich deposit. I believe at the minute these are currently bugged, but you imagine that's going to be patched eventually, so that could be a good option for Zvaya. We would have to go through charcoal burning first of all. Then we could also take it down the rich animal deposit and get trapping, which would further increase the meat supply. We can then also get hide and doubles the amount of meat harvested from hunters and butchers and goat pens with advanced skinning eventually. I think I want it to be an industrial centre, so let's get charcoal burning first of all. Which should give us a new building, I suppose, right? Charcoal kiln will convert 1 firewood into 2 charcoal, making refueling twice as efficient. Well, that sounds like an awful lot of fun, doesn't it? So why don't we have this? Guess we'll have that next to our woodcutter's lodge, right? Cool. So then to move to level 2, let's demolish the workers' camp now. You guys have actual houses. Well, you will do imminently anyway. But these are all growing up. Let's get those vegetables in. Vegetables, and we'll have the vegetables in the larger gardens. Got plenty of regional wealth to do this. And then in maybe a slightly more narrow one, let's get some chickens going too. Hide should never be a problem here, just because we have so much of it. Speaking of hide, we should also build a tannery as well to satisfy that level 1 clothing requirement. Tanneries, I have been told, I believe, are using feces and urine to cure the leather. So given the fact that an eventual pollution mechanic is likely to arrive, we should probably have that away from the homes. But we do have some more free families now, so let's restock our basic services. Let's just remove that extra family from the mine. Storehouse and granary are now both stocked here. How are we doing for level 1 happiness? Yep, that clothing supply store will be sorted imminently. Box in our little cute market area here too. Wonderful. Cool. So this town's coming on quite nicely already, isn't it? Brand new mining settlement in the winter. Pretty grim place to live, to be fair, isn't it? I wouldn't mind setting up some further road connections here, actually, because this is... Can we draw... Yeah, we can draw across the border now. There's, of course, Hildebolt, who we should eventually try and I guess, go to war with him. So we want these provinces eventually as well. That'll be our kind of end game, though. Of course, we'll be wiping out Hildebalt. Which, to do that, of course, we will eventually need. Let's remove that camp again now. More militia. So how are we doing for stocking the militia right now? So yeah, we just need more population to help stock these units. I'm also going to rework my unit formation here as well. Let's have 3 units of spears, and then we'll do 2 units of archers. Yeah, so we only have 98 of 180 possible recruits at the minute. The mercenary pool has dried up now. So we should hopefully see those fill out with population increases. Storehouse for excess weapon storage. But you don't have a storehouse for it. We will be full here. Maybe another storehouse is needed in Iconau now. Everyone seems to be super busy there. So let's set up another one to go here. Just on the edge there. And we now have more people coming in. Wonderful. Let's give you guys upgrades. Let's do... Actually, I guess we could explore some more of the artisans now. Let's maybe come back over to these houses. So we have our cobbler's shop and Fletcher's shop here. And you guys do have chicken cubes, but we could have a tailor's workshop that will enable the production of cloaks and gambesons. Joiner's workshop. Shields might be pretty cool. Let's try that, I think, then. Let's set up a joiner. And then burger spot number 2. We will lose some chickens, but we do already have a cobbler blacksmith, so the other one would be tailor, wouldn't it? So let's not do that just yet. Let's not do that. We will wait for some new people to arrive. We also have an empty work area as well. Yes, our berries have dried up for the winter. That's absolutely fine, although eggs again being the backbone of the food economy for this part of the province. So with you lot here, let's get some more chickens in since we just lost a couple of them. And I think we'll bring most of these up to level 2 as well. Let's check out how our other settlements are going on also. Definitely make sure we get these extra living space upgrades. They're going to allow again for more population, which we need to start stocking up our militia. Because we are low on recruits at the moment. Food and fuel are just more than plentiful in Iconau right now. It's not really something we need to worry about. Even coming into winter, we're just absolutely golden. Wonderful news. With that said, let's return back to Zvajal's happiness. Just that clothing store you all need now, is it? How are we doing for fuel? We could remove the woodcutter's lodge here. We do have an awful lot of it, equally as much with logging as well. We do have a fair amount of timber. Let's get that tannery constructed, which is imminent now. Building animations never get old, do they? Really good. And then let's get a tanner working so we can satisfy the happiness here. Also get that extra store up as well. Of course, the church is also needed too, isn't it? So let's do the church as well. Let's have our residential wooden church, where we do also need planks, of course. So let's actually remove the woodcutter, just temporarily. That's why we get some planks stored. Then once we have that, we can start to build up our church. We'll satisfy everyone at level 1. Guess we could also have a look at some expanded living space over here as well, couldn't we? Could be a few houses that have it. Is it just that one on the corner? I think it might have been mine. This guy's got a huge garden, which is fine. He's allowed to. He's done well for himself, hasn't he? In Zvaya. Maybe this is the guy that owns the iron mine. Cool. We'll wait for those 10 planks to come in at Zvaya and get his church built. Meanwhile, I'm guessing all the farmers have now ground to a halt here, haven't they? They have indeed, and we're making some decent money selling that flax now, aren't we? Or was it the cotton we were selling? I can't remember what it is we set up at the trade post. It was the flour, was it? And then materials. Yeah, just the flour we're selling. And we're processing this here now. Yep, 10 linen. This should be making everyone tremendously happy, if not for some slight disappointment in the variation of food at one end of town. There's bread. There's bread, meat, and eggs for absolute days. You should be alright. Maybe just a case of being too far from the marketplace. Yeah, now he's disappointed in fuel store. And this guy's just a little bit too far away from markets, so let's give him a chicken coop. I got 100% approval in this village now. Absolutely insane. People love living in Goldoff. They simply cannot get enough. So if we are going to go down the fertilization route here of this tech tree, then sheep breeding is also important as well. So why don't we spend our next 2 development points on that, in which case we will also need a livestock trader at some point as well. Which I think we'll have in and amongst the kind of farm industry buildings over here. And then, I guess, yeah, let's get a fence up first of all. And then we'll get sheep breeding secondary to that, so we can breed and sell lambs too. So how does this work? Okay, so here we go. So now our fields have an option to fence up. So let's try it then. So this will allow... Okay, well, let's do it on a fallow field then. Yeah, that's in fallow this year. Let's make this top priority because I really want to see what these fenced in fields look like. And I guess this field down here as well is also following. We could do it here. Very... just so much atmosphere to drinking, isn't there? Especially during the winter here. Just love walking down the main street here with the church and everyone's homes. so much fun indeed, it really is. Hope you're all enjoying playing Manor Lords, of course, now by the time this video comes out to you guys. It is out in early access, so let me know what you're thinking of it. There's also a beginner's video tips and tricks up on the channel too. Check that out, 30 Manor Lords tips. What are these people doing? Waiting and going home. Okay, here we go. Here come the planks. Well, at least 2 of them anyway. Oh, Goldoff, rotting crops in the field. Yeah, are you sure? In this one here? Well, there is no crops in it. It should be in fallow. So, I don't know what you guys are talking about. There we go, here come the builders. Although they just took... He just took my goods away. Where are you going? Why did you just steal my planks? Who are you? Jorg is a farmer guarding an ox. Why did you take the planks away, Jorg? What are you doing? Stop it, Jorg. Why are you doing that? People are bringing planks to the field and Jorg is taking them away. Jorg is sabotaging my fields. Will you stop, Jorg? What are you doing? Right, that's really irritating. Please can we just build the bloody fences? Stop stealing the planks, Jorg. It does say we have rotting crops, but there's nothing here anyway. Okay. Jorg is repeatedly stealing our planks here. I don't know why he's doing this. Yeah, I think there's something awry there, isn't there? Something's not quite gone to plan in terms of the development. Hopefully understanding that ox will help. But that's interesting. If you want to put a fence up around a field, don't let the ox near it. They're coming back here as well. Okay. That's really irritating. Let's unassign the ox from here as well. I think that's what's causing our issues. Incredibly irritating as to why that's happening. So I think if you have an ox assigned to a farmhouse, it comes and picks up the planks. Seems to be what's happening there, I think. I'm assuming that's going to be patched. But either way, while they do get on with that, Zvio should also now have its planks that it needs for its church. It does indeed. So let's have the wooden church. Have this down on the main road. The first thing you pass by as you come into town, maybe. I think we'll have it down there. Planks aren't really needed in the quantities anymore, so let's add our woodcutter back. And our logger back to granary and storehouse are both stocked here. Let's get that upgrade for the storehouse, we will need it eventually. And with a spare family, we will also start getting more mining in here as well. Really want to make sure we get all the iron. Let's construct all of this iron processing infrastructure then. Let's have a little bit of a complex right next door to the mine. We'll have our bloomery. Yep. The smithy can go immediately next door. Fantastic. So the plan is eventually to sell all of this too. Our charcoal kiln is also here now. Got plenty of fuel. I guess that's it. If we take the woodcutter away and start making him work at the charcoal kiln, he should be able to essentially double the impact of all current stored firewood. I guess is how that's going to work. We haven't seen these buildings before. Yeah, so they're just burning charcoal piles essentially. Okay. Again, just fantastically modelled, aren't they? Absolutely stunning. Beautiful. And this has gone tremendously well, actually, hasn't it? Very well indeed. So, while it does continue to happen, everyone should be having their upgrades here. Plenty of vegetable plots. You've had your living extension. So, also grow some vegetables as well. You've got a huge space here. And likewise with these, let's give everyone something, at least. Or we will when we have some more money anyway. It shouldn't be too far off now. Yeah, just that church level, then we can get some level 2s, and then we can start making some regional wealth tax, which would be nice. That's it news indeed. Hopefully our fields have gone up now with the fences over in this one over here. There we go. So, yes, wonderful. The field now has a fence around it, which we can't jog into, which is fine. There we go. There is our upgrade. So important, at least in the early access version, that if you do choose the fertilization one, is that you actually remove the oxes. Otherwise, they themselves will remove the planks that you're trying to use to build it, which is a little bit of an irritant, but, you know, early access bugs, etc. There we go, that's now got its field as well. So how would we, I wonder, turn this into pasture space? I guess when we have sheep, they will automatically use this, I suppose. I believe that's how I'm kind of interpreting it anyway. Cool. These guys are out here plowing right now. Do we want to... And there's the livestock trading post. And let's take the family out the saw pit for the time being. Plenty of animals over here as well. You guys still okay with that reserve? Yeah, plenty coming in there. Yeah, so let's come into our livestock traders. And we will inquire about importing, let's say 10 sheep just for right now. These guys should now start importing livestock. And then hopefully they will use our fields as pasture. I guess we'll see. Oh, well, I really love watching the fields at work. It's so cool, isn't it? It really is. How are our barley fields doing down here, I wonder? I really want to make sure we get barley growing here. We've also got dung and fertilizer counters there, haven't we? I'm assuming that's going to come from our technology. In which we are quite a distance away from that next level actually in gold off. I wouldn't mind making some more progress towards that soon. Where do our level 2's houses stop here? How many was it we needed? 7? Right, let's get those 2 upgraded then. I guess we could do with some more living space here as well, couldn't we? I did want some more burgage plots this side of town actually, because again, my vision for this is to have it eventually wrapped up totally by fields. Shame we can't see the fields on the map here, isn't it? That would have been really cool, but yeah, we could make do without. Yeah, and then probably another farmhouse over here as well. So I wouldn't mind planting some of those now actually. Let's get some of these extra large burgage plots coming in. That one's a little too close to the building next door, so let's try this direction. You okay? Something stopping you from growing here? We try this side of the road. Sometimes it can find a point to collide. There we go. People living up against the back of the stream, which is really cool. We did have someone ask actually if there's rivers and streams in the map. Definitely more streams than rivers at the minute, but you know, custom maps look like they're going to be a thing as well at some point. That should be really cool. Oh yes, would you look at that now? So pasture space 2 of 4. Well, where are the sheep then? Where's the shepherds? They are importing the livestock. Oh, do you know what we can do now as well? Because we have the regional wealth. Let's go to our pack station. We can buy the mule. And also do the same over in Ike now as well. Because you do need a mule here. So we can now barter between the two provinces. So we can start to send barley over to Ike now when we need it. I think Ike now can also import its own barley because it's pretty rich at this point. But I would like to undergo the process of, you know, using one province to supply another. Those fields are getting really big now, aren't they? Love seeing them full of wheat. Very, very cool indeed. Yeah, so the 3 livestock traders are currently out importing livestock. Like one's coming back down the road here. With just his sheep. Don't you just love that? He's walking down the road with his sheep and then he's like passed by another trader here. The world feels so alive already, you know, but when this game gets the AI city building aspect baked into it, it's really going to change up, isn't it? Really is. But yeah, is this my province here? It is, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. No, just past the pathway is mine. Yeah, the vision eventually is to have all these hills, all fields, but it kind of looks like it does over there as well. Yeah, so we didn't set these fields up here, did we? We did not indeed. I'll tell you what, let's set these here off. Oh yes, there you go. Now we have our sheep in pasture. Would you look at that? Absolutely fantastic. So these guys now are going to help rapidly regenerate the fertility here. Now if we were to have a look at our construction menu, we can check that fertility. So here you go. You can see where the fertility is starting to reduce in the fields now after a couple of harvests. So what's going on here? This one's growing. It doesn't look like there's a vast amount in here, does it? Let's get that fence up here too. I don't want to do it in an area where there's already wheat in case they destroy, because I really don't want that to happen. I want to make sure there's continual wheat coming into the windmill here. But that is very nice indeed. We can now use our fields as pasture space. We've got multiple fields of it as well. So we can now rapidly regenerate the fertility with those sheep, which is wonderful. And we will eventually unlock sheep breeding, which will allow us to eventually start selling lambs for this province, which will bring it a little bit more regional wealth. But for right now, it's okay. Let's get this last field in here as well. Is there anything super fertile here? I think it's all grain, isn't it? So let's do another massive field. So that's going to be a little bit smaller than that. There you go. That's 1.1 Morgan. And then we can do that second field there as well. Cool. So barley. These are going to fallow for a couple of years, right? Yeah, so that's fallow wheat. Fallow wheat. So here we will do fallow wheat. And then fallow, I think, is how we'll run these two fields. Yep, fallow, and then crop rotation. Sweet. Hello. Super. So that should help keep everything moving in terms of the production scale here. And some new families hopefully on their way as well now these guys are coming in. You guys should be able to have all your requirements met already. Yes, we absolutely can. That's fantastic. So gold off is now really coming together, isn't it? Really growing up. And meanwhile over here, we do have some full generic storage at the tannery. The warehouse or the storehouse should be taking care of that. Processing all those hides. Look at this as well now. Those big vegetable burgers plots really coming into effect, aren't they? Oh, indeed. Got a little screenshot here of our people growing the old faithful cabbage. Timeless, isn't it? Awesome. And disapproval? No, everyone's really happy here. We can actually go up to level 2 at the minute to get that second development point, which would give us a deep mine, which might be quite fun. Let's do it. Bring these two houses up to level 2. Now, we probably won't be able to satisfy their tavern need, but I think with a few extra families in, we should be able to start selling a lot of this iron. So let's also prepare the trading post eventually as well, which we'll have right by the markets and the storehouse here. I don't really want the footprint of Zvaya to get much bigger than this. I really want it all focused around the mine. Now, it's also, our logging camp is dangerously close as well there, isn't it, to the berries and the animals. So let's make sure he doesn't put anything down. Come and deforest this here. I reckon we can have another road that actually comes up and links in with the settlement this way here. Let's have something like this. Cool. So these guys are going to be growing huge amounts of veg here, hopefully, with this much land to work with. Wonderful. So what we can do now, actually, is reassign the ox back to the farms, because we did remove them. They definitely want to be there for ploughing purposes. Yeah, there you go. Let's add those in. That we're getting some more workers in now as well, are we? So that's more workers for my farms. Get out into the fields, everyone. Yep, everyone's sowing and transporting. This field over here is getting a bit of action. Has this one been sowed, has it? It has. It's growing now, apparently. Which is going to be the first year of proper barley, isn't it? I think it is. Fantastic. New families coming into Gold all the time now, which is what we want to see. Oh, there's our level 2 house. Yeah, so we'll import, I think, the resources for the level 2 church. We just need the roof tiles, don't we? We do have clay here, actually. I guess we could just do it ourselves, but we don't really have the families for that right now. But as long as they don't start leaving, we should be alright. They've definitely got their food supply. Tavern, again, we'll import once we've got that available. Cool. So let's get this up to level 2. Let's make this your highest priority. Get this finished. Then hopefully we can finish the episode by upgrading to the deep mine, which should be quite a lot of fun, won't it? As they endure a horrendous spring downpour. Stocks damage in the food store, really? I mean, we do have tons of yarn and wool being produced. What is it you want for that level 1 demand? Yeah, linen or yarn is apparently acceptable. It may be just a little too far away from the central market here, aren't you? But either way, Zvaya has leveled up. Wonderful. This is really what we wanted to happen, isn't it? So let's come back into our development tree. And we will keep developing up our deep mine. Yeah, fantastic. So let's come into our mine. And we want to make this... Oh, it's 50 regional wealth to upgrade that. Which is fine, because hopefully trading posts isn't too far away. We should be able to shift quite a lot of that iron ore via the trade post, which I definitely will do. We'll do this in today's episode. How are we doing for fuel? Plenty of charcoal and firewood. Still firewood to convert into charcoal as well. 10 months worth of fuel in the supply, which is great. So we've really got 3 solid settlements down here now, haven't we? Zvaya, Eikenau and Goldoff are all really self-sufficient and starting to thrive. I think next episode we'll possibly explore setting up Ironroyd as a kind of workers outpost, just kind of seasonal work really. Not sure how we can really establish that in Manor Lords. We'll have to have some experiments and see what we can do with the game. But we've got multiple people now. We got, what's this? So we've got 189 in Ike now. It's 27 living in Zvaya. And 66. So we're not far off coming off 300 people across the whole provinces at the minute. And managing to keep all of them supplied. Cool, so we've now got multiple fields that are set up as pasture, which is great. We'll definitely keep that going once these come into their fallow years in the next couple of weeks. Which, given how fast their fertility is draining, I might actually make this one wheat and then fallow it next year, I think. I think that's what we'll do. The pantry is full in the granary, so we will upgrade to a large granary. Is that because we're just holding... Yeah, so much bread and grain. We're producing just insane amounts of bread. We should... Yeah, we've got 27 months worth of food in store because of all that bread. So let's sell some bread. So let's export. Again, let's just go for like, give me a surplus of 200. Let's get you guys a new horse as well. Cool. And that should start bringing significantly more amounts of money in for gold off. We now just need to do the same with Zvaya, of course. So it does have its trading post available now. So let's remove a miner and come into the trading post here. And we want to sell our materials. Yeah. So export the raw iron ore. Just keep 150 in for right now. And we'll assign that spare family into the trading post. We should now stock goods for sale. Yep, there we go. Iron ore now starts to pile up here. That will begin contributing to our regional wealth alongside these two level 2 houses over here. How much to import some roof tiles? I don't think that's a major trade, isn't it? It is a major trade. So we will need to spend a little bit of longer to establish the trade route for roof tiles, but that's okay. It's no major issue. We're also producing a lot of meat here as well we could sell. Just because we've got the rich food deposit, but I'd rather keep it in reserve just in case we ever need it. But I guess with the vegetable gardens here too, this province is probably never going to want for food. Cool, there's the money. So let's spend that on the deep mine, which is going to be really cool. Let's have a look at this, shall we? Let's sit and watch our deep mine get built. There it is. Now we have a deep mine. And there's, yeah, there you go. They have a little tunnel entrance on there now. Some more serious equipment. Get a screenshot of that as well. That'll probably be in today's thumbnail, I imagine. What fabulous. So the people are waiting. Yeah, he's coming back to mine now, isn't he? Where is Thomas? Come on, Thomas. Let's see people in the deep mine. Yes, there we go. That's what we want to see, isn't it? Oh, you okay, Thomas? He's getting a little bit crazy. Fabulous. So now have a deep mine in Zvaya, which essentially makes this resource infinite. It will now never deplete due to the deep mine. But this is now a proper mining settlement. And we continue to grow out and customize it and keep trading things as well. Basically all based around the iron production, and we'll produce iron bars via the bloomery and the smithy over here as well, eventually, as bio continues to grow out over the coming months and years, of course. And how are we doing over here now for population? Up to 111 recruits now, so we are getting more and more population in. These guys unfortunately just aren't having their clothing store met, nor food supply here either, so chickens for you in that case. Same here as well, just lots more chickens, keep those egg supply coming in. It really is the backbone of Iconel's food economy at the minute, isn't it? Along with those berries, which should now have another harvester back in. There is indeed. And we've got an empty work area, do we? You sure about that? Think again. Fantastic. 2,700 at Iconel now. Province is very, very rich. There's probably a lot more we can upgrade here, isn't there? Let's get all these level 3. And I keep bringing people in to keep the militia stocked for what will be an eventual war with Lord Hildebolt to take the other provinces. But until that day, we can enjoy a little jog around as the Lord. So we will leave it there, guys. Thank you for watching. The episode's getting quite long again as well. Thank you for all the support on the Manor Lords series. It's really nice to see you guys enjoying all this content. I'm really enjoying playing this game. And I hope you guys are now as well. You finally have your hands on it. A massive shout out to all the patrons supporting the channel. If you are interested in getting involved in that, there are links down to Patreon and Instant Gaming below, where you can get involved in supporting the channel and getting a little bit extra out of it as well if you are indeed enjoying the content. Don't forget to check out that brand new 30 beginner tips and tricks for Manor Lords. It's packed with little advice to help keep you thriving. All these little ideas we picked up over the survival guide. Otherwise, let's thank you all so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.